Underneath participants at the bottom of your screen, if you go next to your name to more, it will say rename. Please rename yourself to your first and your last name so we can take roll, make sure we know you're here. If you're calling in by phone, please text 337-233-1010 with your first and last name so we can know that you are on your phone and participating. We'd also love to see your face. If you could put your video on, that would be great. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Make sure we get everyone from the waiting room into the main room. Just give it a few more minutes before we get started. Again, please change your name to your first and your last name. Underneath participants, it'll say rename. So rename yourself to your first and your last name so we can take roll. If you are calling in from your phone, you can text 337-233-1010. Let us know what your first and last name is and we'll put you in so we know you're here. Thanks again for joining us today. We'll give it one more minute. A few more people coming in. If you just entered the meeting, please change your name to your first and last name. Underneath participants at the bottom of your screen, go to more next to your name. Click on rename and rename yourself to your first and last name. Or if you're calling in from a phone, you can text 337-233-1010. Give us your first and last name, and we can make sure you're accounted for. And it's 4:05. Tim, would you like to get us kicked off? We'll get started.
Sure. Again, I'd like to thank you all for participating in this second meeting in this workshop series with the structures. Hopefully, you've had some time to mull over some of the things shown to you Tuesday afternoon, and we can talk about that later as we break out into groups and get more input. And based on our last meeting we had Tuesday, there were some that mentioned having more time to look over the information and provide input. Of course, we have time throughout the process for people to give input all through the EIS and CSS process. But we're going to be modifying the future workshops in the next month or so, the next round we have, to allow a week space between the two sets of meetings we have. Instead of Tuesday, Thursday, it may be, Tuesday this week, Tuesday next week, or some sort of week space in there to give you more time to get back with your constituents or the people you represent to discuss more. So we've listened to what y'all said and trying to give more time for that. and allow more discussion. As well as, I think some of you may have received the schedule or the little handout, little chart showing the multiple meetings we're having that involves the neighborhoods and the public meetings and stakeholders meetings we're going to have, where it all works together to have as many people as possible involved. So again, I'd like to thank you for participating in this evening's meeting. It's very helpful. We want to make this project as good as we can. I'm kind of excited to see what comes out of it. And with that, I'll hand it over to Brie.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, just a few housekeeping things. This meeting is going to be just a little bit different than Tuesday's meeting, so I want to let you know what's going to happen. First of all, please don't use your computer audio and your phone audio at the same time. It gives feedback, so pick one or the other. In this session right now, everyone except the people that are speaking during the presentation will be on mute. But we will move into breakout sessions in a little bit. And the LCAG members will be unmuted to be able to have open dialogue with your bridge expert and LCP members within those breakouts. There are 6 breakout groups. We have alphabetically by first name put you in each of the breakout. Members of the public that are listening in, you will be put in breakout rooms to be able to listen to the conversation. Again, it's going to be open dialogue between LCAG and LCP members. There's no chat function, so we just ask that you respect one another and let each other talk, and we can handle that those breakouts smoothly. But we will have an admin person in each room that will be handling some of the recordings of the videos, which each breakout and this session will be recorded. So you can go back to the website and view these after the meeting. There are roughly around 60 people on the call. This is a 2-hour call. We will try to be as efficient as possible. Again, members of the public, you can submit questions at any time to info@LafayetteConnector.com. And with that, I'll hand it over to Gary to get started.
Okay, welcome. My name is Gary Maji, and I'm the structure task manager for the I-49 connector and the LCP partners. I want to welcome you guys, and I'm really looking forward to hearing input from everybody, and really that goes, you know, from now to the end of the job. I just want to keep that dialogue going, and but of course we like to talk mostly about the mainline viaduct and what we heard the other day from Bradley and myself. We want to answer your questions that we have, and we understand there was just a lot of info to take in, and I know it's going to take some time to absorb, but we want to try to communicate that as clearly as we can, and help you in your comments and decisions that are forthcoming. So I guess that's kind of an opening line. We will talk a little bit about the objectives for the discussion, which were introduced in the very beginning. And we can do that when we get into the breakouts. I think that's a good place to start. And then I guess I'm going to go back to you, Brie. Are we going to start into a breakout pattern, or are there a few more discussions or house cleaning items?
I think we can go to breakouts if you're ready.
I'm ready, so just help us communicate what will happen.
Okay. Well, we're just assigning each of the LCAG members to the breakout room. So what's going to happen is you will be asked to join a breakout room. So on your screen, it will pop up, please join breakout room number whatever. Click join, and it will bring you to that breakout room. Again, you will have a bridge expert. You will have members of the LCP team, and you'll have an admin technical person in each of the breakouts. If you have any issues, you can, obviously let us know. Each admin will probably give out their phone number in case you need to reach them. There's no chat included in the breakouts, like I said. If you, members of the LCAG, if you put yourself on mute, we'll just have to know to go in and unmute you. It's kind of a manual process. So if you can, please try not to mute yourself so you can have open dialogue with the team. But yeah, we're assigning right now. So it just should take a second, and we will we'll send everybody to their virtual rooms. We have, I think, about roughly an hour to be in breakouts. So we'll give a countdown when there's 10 minutes left, and then everybody will get kicked back into the main room, where we will go ahead and report out from each breakout session. So you have someone that will be taking notes in your room, and they will report out in the breakout session, and then we'll wrap things up. So please come prepared with your feedback forms or any questions that you have. Like I said, it's open dialogue, so we hope to have good discussion in these meetings. And
Awesome.
we're almost there. It went a little quicker than we thought. We're assigning people now. Come on.
Bree, you may want to mention, Tim talked about the additional time that we wanted to give between the first meeting and the second meeting of the future workshops. And there's going to be an opportunity to keep talking about workshop 1, even as we start workshop 2, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Like Tim said, input is always accepted, but we will have time at the beginning of workshop number 2 to discuss any additional questions and feedback and input from this meeting at the next meeting.
Right. So we realize it's been a challenge to try to get feedback in the day and a half you've had or so, but please keep getting feedback. And if we have more feedback that you've gotten by the time workshop 2 rolls around, we're going to have an opportunity to be able to discuss that. So please keep getting that feedback, and we'll be able to talk about it even after today.
And Steve, if I can add to that too, this really is, an additive process. And so while today we're talking about the superstructure and the piers for the mainline viaduct, this certainly isn't the last opportunity that we're going to have to talk about these things. And as this project evolves and we begin talking about other components like hardscape and landscape, or a particular way that the project's being integrated into the community, and it sparks an idea that you hadn't thought about with regard to pier shapes or abutment treatments, certainly at any time in the future, come back to us with those comments, because that's welcome. And that kind of ongoing dialogue is really what's going to ultimately give this project the richness that I think that we're all looking for. So no subject matter is closed just because it's being focused on today or at the next workshop. We're always welcome to have conversations or receive comments.
Okay, we're working through some, oh, we're good. We're good. Thank you, Bradley. You tied us over. Okay, so you should receive an invitation to join your breakout room. So please click your button and join your room.